The biggest lie you've been told is that you can fix other people. You spend your life pointing fingers, demanding the world bend to your vision, exhausting yourself trying to control every person and situation around you. But here's what no one tells you. While you're busy trying to change everyone else, you're the only person standing in your own way. There is one unbreakable law of human transformation. Internal change creates external reality. Change yourself first, and everything around you shifts automatically. Picture this. You're stuck in traffic, late for work, and the guy in front of you is driving like he's got nowhere to be. The old you would lean on the horn, curse under your breath, arrive at work carrying that anger like a poison that spreads to every conversation. But what if instead you used those extra minutes to listen to something that expands your mind? What if you arrived at work calm, focused, radiating the kind of energy that makes people want to collaborate rather than avoid you? The traffic didn't change. The other driver didn't change. But you changed, and suddenly your entire day unfolds differently. Your colleagues respond to your energy, opportunities appear because you're approachable, and problems that seemed impossible become manageable because you're thinking clearly. This is the hidden power most people never discover. They wait for perfect conditions before they act. They need their boss to be fair, their partner to be understanding, their circumstances to be ideal. Meanwhile, the person who masters themselves first becomes magnetic to the very opportunities and people that the complainers are desperately chasing. 800 years ago, in the hills of Persia, a scholar named Rumi understood something that modern society has forgotten. He once wrote, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself." Think about the weight of those words. Rumi wasn't some naive optimist sitting in an ivory tower. He lived through political upheaval, personal loss, and the collapse of everything familiar. He could have spent his life bitter, writing angry poetry about corrupt leaders and broken systems. Instead, he turned inward. He studied his own reactions, transformed his own heart, and through that internal revolution, produced wisdom that has guided millions of people across centuries. His influence didn't come from trying to control others. It came from the irresistible power of someone who had mastered themselves first. The mystics knew what modern psychology is just beginning to understand. When you change the observer, you change the observed. When you shift your internal state, your external world reorganizes itself around that new energy. It's not magic. It's how reality actually works. Imagine you're leading a team through a crisis. Sales are plummeting, morale is destroying itself, and everyone is looking for someone to blame. The weak leader stands up and points fingers at the market, at the competition, at team members who aren't performing. They demand everyone else change while they stay exactly the same. But the leader who understands inner transformation takes a different path. They look in the mirror first. They ask the hard questions. How did my leadership contribute to this? What patterns am I running that create these results? How can I show up differently? They don't announce this internal work. They just do it. They stop reacting emotionally to bad news. They start listening instead of defending. They become curious about problems instead of angry about them. And something almost mysterious happens. The team starts mirroring this energy. People stop hiding problems and start solving them. Instead of covering their backs, they start watching each other's backs. The culture shifts not because of new policies or motivational speeches, but because the leader changed first. This isn't theory. This is how empires are built and businesses are saved. One person takes responsibility for their internal state, and that responsibility becomes contagious. Here's what they don't teach you in school. You are the center of your universe, and everything radiates outward from your internal state. When you carry anger, you attract conflict. When you operate from fear, you create more things to fear. When you show up with wisdom and strength, you become a magnet for wisdom and strength. Your relationships are a mirror reflecting your internal world back to you. Your career responds to the energy you bring to it. Your opportunities multiply or shrink based on the person you've become, not the person you're trying to convince others to be. The ancient Sufis had a saying, "Be the change you want to see." But they didn't mean it as some feel-good platitude. They meant it as a strategic advantage. While everyone else is exhausting themselves trying to push the river, you become the river. Most people live their entire lives backwards. They wait for their circumstances to improve before they improve themselves. They need validation before they build confidence. They want respect before they become respectable. They demand love before they learn to love themselves. This external focus creates a permanent state of powerlessness. You're always at the mercy of other people's moods, decisions, and limitations. You become a reactor instead of a creator, constantly defending and explaining instead of simply being undeniable. But when you flip the script and start with internal transformation, you discover something profound. You already have everything you need. The confidence you were seeking from others was always available inside you. The peace you were demanding from your circumstances was always accessible through your choices. The strength you were hoping to find in perfect conditions was always present in your decision to grow regardless of conditions. This isn't about meditation retreats or spiritual bypassing. This is about practical, daily choices that compound into extraordinary results. Every morning you have a choice. Will you react to your circumstances, or will you create from your vision? When someone disrespects you, will you match their energy and drag yourself down to their level? Or will you respond from a place of strength that either elevates them or makes their behavior irrelevant? When faced with a challenge, will you focus on everything that's wrong with the situation? Or will you focus on everything you can control about your response to it? These micro-decisions seem small, but they're building the person you're becoming. And the person you're becoming determines everything that comes next. The path is clear before you. You now understand the fundamental law. Internal change creates external reality. This isn't just philosophy. This is your blueprint for everything that comes next. Right now, in this moment, you have a choice. You can close this video and go back to the old way, waiting for others to change, demanding perfect circumstances, exhausting yourself trying to control what's beyond your reach. Or you can step into the power that's been waiting for you all along. Every master who ever lived discovered this same truth. They stopped looking outward for salvation and started building inward for transformation. They understood that the person who controls themselves controls their destiny. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are not at the mercy of other people's choices. You are not stuck waiting for the world to become fair. You are the architect of your reality, the author of your story, the force that determines what happens next. The moment you decide to change yourself first, everything shifts. Your relationships improve because you show up differently. Your opportunities multiply because you radiate different energy. Your problems become manageable because you approach them with a transformed mind. Start building from the inside out and watch everything change. Your future self is waiting.